Hi, my name is Mark Cosgrove. Welcome to a PROAKTIV Impulse. This is the first of a two-part PROAKTIV Impulse that we're doing because it's on a topic we think requires a little more depth. The topic is interview skills. In part one, we'll look at it from the perspective of the interviewee, and in part two, we'll talk about what interviewers need to pay attention to. So, you're an interviewee. You've been called for an interview at a company. Now, by that time, they're already satisfied that you technically know how to do the job. They've seen your CV, they've seen your qualifications. They might have even made you write some tests. So they know that technically you can do it. Now what they're trying to do in the interview is figure out, are you the kind of person they want to work with? They do this by asking you what are called behavioral questions. So a behavioral question is, tell me about a time in your life when you, or in your job, previous jobs, where you faced a difficulty or an adversity, and what did you do to overcome it? Something like that. Now you can't memorize them. You can't anticipate every single behavioral question and then come up with an answer prepared. So you need a process. You need a system. So when I'm coaching people who are going through a career change, this is what I tell them to do. First, make a list of all of the characteristics or traits or strengths that you think you have that really accurately describe you. I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm hardworking, I've got a good eye for detail, I'm a perfectionist, whatever that might be. I work well on teams, this kind of thing. So write them all down. And then for each one of these characteristics or strengths, think about a story that you can tell that would illustrate that to the listener. So don't just tell me you're resilient, tell me about a time in your life when you used resilience to solve a problem, to finish a project, to do something impressive. That's what you want to do. Make a list of all of your attributes and then think of stories that you can tell, things that happen to you in your life. And really craft these stories. Practice saying them out loud in front of a camera, use your phone, in front of a mirror, whatever it is, so that you can quickly recall them and tell them in a way that keeps them nice and short, to the point, and clear to the listener exactly what it is you're trying to say. Now you'll notice a couple of things. One is the stories tend to fall into certain categories. There's going to be the adversity category, like a time you solved a problem. There's going to be overcoming your own flaws. These are good stories. You want to be able to talk about that. So then the day comes and you sit in front of the interviewer and she asks you, tell me about a time when you made a mistake and you fixed that mistake. Now you think to yourself, aha, I've got such a story, and you tell her that story. You say, well, this happened, blah, blah, blah. But because you're thinking about the story from the perspective of being resilient or having an eye for detail or hardworking or whatever those characteristics were, your story will focus more on the positive things that allowed you to fix the problem than the negative things that caused the problem in the first place. And this does a few things. One, it helps redirect their attention to what's good about you, the kind of person you are when faced with a difficulty. Two, it shows that you really understand the question, you've thought about it. And three, it shows that you've got some pretty powerful communication skills because you didn't just look around dumbfounded and terrified of the question. So this is a very simple and straightforward system for you to prepare for the behavioral questions that you're most likely to get during a job interview. My name is Mark Cosgrove. This has been a PROAKTIV Impulse. Now, if you're also involved in doing interviews, check out the second video.